Maegor Targaryen, also known as Maegor the Cruel. Part 2. After Maegor woke from his month-long coma, he appeared on the walls of King's Landing with his second wife Alice and Lady Tiana of the Tower to the cheering crowd of King's Landing, and the city erupted in celebration. The cheers remained, until Maegor mounted his dragon, Balerion, and flew to the Sept of Remembrance above Rhaenys Hill, where 700 of the warrior sons were praying their morning prayers. Maegor unleashed the fury of Balerion the Black Dread and engulfed the Sept in flames. Some tried to escape but were cut down by archers and spearmen. The screams of the dead and dying could be heard all over King's Landing, and the smoke and ash lingered over the city for days. The Faith of the Seven had declared war on House Targaryen for years, but the Targaryens hadn't responded until now. But the warrior sons were just a small part of that. The city of King's Landing was swarmed with the poor fellows, an order of mostly peasants sworn to the Faith of the Seven. King Maegor's orders as soon as he returned to the Iron Throne were to command all the poor fellows to lay down their weapons under the penalty of death. His decree was ignored, so he turned to the High Lords of Westeros to deal with the ragged hordes, and in turn, the High Septon called from Old Town for any pious lords to take up arms against the reign of dragons and monsters and abominations. The first battle between the Faith and House Targaryen happened in the Reach, at Stonebridge. The poor fellows led by Wat the Hewer found themselves caught between 6 lordly hosts trying to cross the Mander River. Half of the men were north of the river, while the other half was south. The Targaryen hosts charged at them with their well-trained men and heavy-armed horses. The undisciplined, untrained poor fellows who were only clad in boiled leather were slaughtered and cut to pieces. The slaughter was so bad that the Mander ran red with blood for 20 weeks. Wat himself was taken alive, but only after slaying half a dozen knights. He was delivered to King's Landing in chains. Meanwhile, Faith militants numbering 20,000 men battled against King Maegor's host at the fork of the Blackwater River. The rain was heavy in the night, and the storm and thunder blocked out Maegor as he flew on the wings of Balerion the Black Dread, bathing his enemies in black flames. He charged again and again, igniting the battlement with fire, and his heavy horsepower overturned the Faith militants. Dropping their axes, the poor fellows fled like streams in 1,000 different directions. After his victory, the king returned to the Red Keep triumphant, where he found Wat the Hewer, chained yet still defiant, delivered to him. The king began tearing off the man's limbs with his axe, before ordering the maesters to keep him alive, so he can attend my wedding. It was then that Maegor announced his third wife to be Tiana of the Tower, the Pentoshi sorceress. His mother, Queen Visenya, had no love for the woman, but she kept silent. It was the Grandmaster who spoke out against the marriage. "Your true wife awaits you in the High Tower," he said. Maegor heard him in silence before slowly descending from the Iron Throne with the Valyrian steel blade of Blackfire in hand.